Hey, what's going on YouTube? Black Beer Hunter coming at you again, and we're here to talk about Cryptical development. This is brewed by Tire Hands Brewing, located in Ardmore, PA. And they're really pretty much known for their IPAs, but they have stouts that come out of there, normally pretty heavy stouts. I went there and it was like, I guess a stout came out that weekend, and it was sold out like literally in a few minutes. And so at the end of the day, one of the local water and bottle shops that I go to, water and hold, whatever you want to call it. I went to it and they actually had some stouts they had a stout from Tired Hands, which we see here today. They've actually been carrying a few, they carry a few from time to time. They get a lot of rare stuff. And so, I grabbed a few. They let me into their little stock and stash, and they let me grab a few. So I'm here today to talk about, like I said, Cryptical development. This beer weighs in at like 11% ABV. And the notes on it is that it's basically a variant of Cryptical Envelopment, which was the beer before this one. I can't remember the base beer, but it's like a line that they have, right? And so that this one is basically brewed with a senseless, like an insane amount of mash, specialty malts, flaked oats, buckets and buckets of like maple syrup and a ton of lactose sugar, right? So yeah, it should be pretty intense, right? Sounds intense. And then it's conditioned on one of their local coffees in that area up in PA, right. I want to say it's like extremely close to that brewery. I don't know if it's considered Ardmore, but it's pretty close. It's Awakened Minds coffee. And then they throw in some Madagascar vanilla beans, cinnamon, chocolate, like brownie batter chocolate, and dark dried fruits, chocolate milk, cinnamon, pancakes, and espresso, right? So they got a lot going on. And so a beer like this should be like, when it's like that, it should be extremely intense and kind of all over the place when you first brew it. And that's what it kind of sounds like. And I want to say that this beer is like maybe late last year, like November time frame or something like that, maybe, and probably before that. But I've sat on it a few months, so we can get an idea of where it's at right off the back, or like like a year in. So yeah, let's go ahead and try this bad boy out, right? Nice little label, kind of artsy. I think I'm gonna do something with that once I'm done. I have an actual idea to put in the background. And so, yeah. Woo, that sounded really great. And look at all that. Oh, smells like dark fruit. That's the first thing I smell. I'm surprised I didn't smell the coffee, but from that crack, when I cracked that beer, oh man, it just smelled like dark fruits for some reason. It smelled like that in the air right now. Hold on. Oh, now I'm smelling coffee and dark fruits. Woo. Coffee, chocolate, and that's in the can. It's not even out of the can yet. It's not even in the glass. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get a pour on this. Oh, look at that. Oh, that head is big. Nice and dark. Ooh, look at that head. It's no joke. But it's like a lot of action, and it's like huge bubbles, right? Like really huge bubbles. And so, yeah, look at that. It was a real thick, dark pour, right? That looked like, I'm not even a joke. It looked like syrup pouring out of that, or like actually engine oil pouring out of there. You can see like a red, like a weird color, like red hue to it, but light's not getting through it, but it's just like a different color. And then that mocha colored head, I mean, it was huge. That was kind of amazing. That was actually pretty cool looking. Not really. Not I've seen it before, but look how fast the head receded. The head receded pretty quick. I mean, it's not even a finger, but it receded to like a circle, just a circle around the glass, around the perimeter of the glass. And so, yeah, nice and dark, like a stout should be. Um, but the head kind of is not really that. It looked like it was going to be frothy. Um, it looked pretty viscous while I was pouring it. Um, yeah, it was kind of lovely, kind of good looking. Like I said, textbook. And a little milky, right? So let's go ahead and check these aromas out and see exactly what Tired Hands are working with. Oh man, it smells delicious. Oh, it smells like somebody just took like a coffee cake out of the oven. That's what it smelled like. Like it's like it make my mouth water. You got all kind of notes going on there, and I love to sit and just smell it while it warms up. It's just like fudgy, um, man, thick and rich and malty. You're definitely getting like the coffee, whatever coffee the coffee, the awake. Well, I don't know if it's the Awakened Minds or I don't know if that's espresso. Like at the end of the day, or was that an Awakened Minds espresso? Did they use two different types of coffee or one? But at the end of the day, you definitely smell coffee, right? It smells extremely rich, kind of buttery too. Like you kind of smell like I said, it smells like a pastry, outright like a pastry. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and I mean, let's see exactly what they actually went for, and if the actual notes and aromas that we smell follow the nose. So with that being said, YouTube, cheers. Your boy's gonna take one for the team. Oh, ooh. So, uh, so, oh my gosh, that's like real. Oh my gosh, intense. Real thick and syrupy. You get the roast, chocolate. Like, it tastes like coffee concentrate, and chocolate concentrate, and maple syrup concentrate. Um, oh man, like it's just dark and syrupy. Like the maple was kind of like really intense. Like they overdid it on the syrup, or maybe like this beer really like give it like 5 years before you crack it, um, or like a little bit longer. Because at the end of the day, it's intense. Like it's extremely intense when it comes to how how aggressive they went with this with the maple syrup. But it kind of tastes a little to me, and I might be wrong, but it tastes a bit artificial. And that's one of my main problems with artificial flavoring is that it's so easy to overdo it. Then at the end of the day, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like we already have enough artificial flavor in our food. I don't want artificial flavor in my beer. And I can guarantee that this is probably artificial. There's something artificial in here. Yeah. Then it has like, uh, what is that? I don't know what type of dark fruit that is. Um, yeah, it's just lacking in a lot of places. Um, it's like Hershey syrup now. Like it don't the chocolate tastes like Hershey syrup. And that's why I was kept saying concentrate, because at the end of the day, that's what it reminds me of. Tastes like a bunch of concentrates added to the mixture. Maybe even that coffee is concentrate, because at the end of the day, you can smell it and it smells like really good. And like I said, when I cracked the can, all type of aromas came out, and it's like, oh, you know, you get excited initially. Like I get excited when I can smell a beer. I get excited. And some beers you can't just like outright smell. As soon as you crack it, you'll smell it after you pour it, and then it's like, you know, you can smell it, right? But some beers I've had, and you crack the bottle, or you crack the can, the tab, and it's just like, you know, you'll get something out of it. And especially with cans, you're not, you know, because it's so enclosed and the mouth is so small. But at the end of the day, yeah, I cracked it. I smelled a lot. The smells, I mean, the aromas, the actual taste of the beer follow suit, but it doesn't, it's not like it's nasty. It's just too, well, one, too sweet, but then two, it has that some artificial notes. I might be wrong. It just might be the ingredients that they're using, but to me, it felt like other beers that I've had, and they were just artificial, and I guess they just didn't have time or something. But I noticed that's becoming a larger trend. Um, and I've talked to a few breweries, and they touted how they use natural. And then just recently, I've been buying their beers, and then I look at it, and then I see natural flavors. And I mean, it took years before I saw that. Not like years and I was drinking it and didn't notice it, but where I was buying the beers, now I go to crack them, and it's years later, you know, because they're vintages from, you know, prior years. But then I'm cracking those beers, and I taste them, and I'm saying to myself, what the hell? Hold on, this don't taste right. And then I look at the bottle, and I really investigate, and it's artificial flavors. Some people that don't bother them, and I started ranting again on it, but whatever. So, taste insanely sweet, and you only realistically need like 6 ounces of that. I had to figure out what to do with the rest of that. I might end up cooking with it, because I'm definitely not going to drink it. Or, or I'll alter it. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'll alter it. So, going forward, mouthfeel, like I said, extremely thick and syrupy. Um, Not exact. Like I like really thick, mouthy stouts, or stouts um, that are extremely viscous, and sometimes I don't mind it when it's a little oily, or I just don't like I like because it kind of lingers, right? Like this beer, you don't really see a lot of lacing on it. You can see it kind of sticking to the glass, but it doesn't really linger, and that's kind of like another byproduct of being artificial. Most artificial beers, if you pay attention to them, they don't really linger well or stick to your tongue. And this one don't really, like, after I've had it, it's not like hanging around on my tongue while I'm talking, and I'm not getting a lot of aftertaste or a lot, or I'm not really feeling any complexity as I taste it. Like, so say if I taste it again. It's warming up, and it tastes exactly the same. Um, and so, I mean, he has that Dr. Pepper feels, like a slight carbonation there. But also it kind of tastes like, now, I ain't gonna joke about it, it tastes like a cola. It tastes like Dr. Pepper with chocolate and a little coffee. Um, It's not as roasty anymore. Um, yeah. I can't really over like I just have to basically go back to how I feel. This is here we go again. Overall, for a beer that's coming from a brewery that sells out, like this sells out really fast at their brewery. I really couldn't condone. Well, fuck it. You go out and you try it, and then you tell me what you think about it. I always say that, right? Because everybody don't feel the same way about every beer, and I felt that way about a lot of beers, where people will talk about it, and I'll make that hunt. I'll go on that hunt, even if I have to go to another state, which I have a lot of beers where most people I'm not waiting for it to show up in the bottle shop. I'll go and get it, you know. And so at the end of the day, overall for me, it lacks balance. This is extremely sweet, which hides the 11%. But like I said, you know, the like that's not what I'm really looking for at the end of the day. It's not. There's like, it's not layered. It's not complex. The syrup totally dominates whatever that chocolate syrup concentrate that they use, or I don't know what it is that they use, or how their values, the ratios that they use it in. It just totally has gone. It's out of control. Maybe if it sat for a while, but what I really think is don't make a difference how long this thing sits, like how long you sit it, it's not going to develop. Like I said, 6-ounce pour. If you could find this on tap, maybe do it that way. But at the end of the day, I'm not really compelled to tell anybody to go get it. But like I said, if you just want conversation and you're into tasting beers like how I like to taste beers, remind me of so whatever. At the end of the day, this beer right here, yeah, I don't think I'll ever buy it again. I'm extremely overwhelmed by, like I said, that chocolate syrup, the sweetness. Like, it's extremely sweet. And I love some sweet beers. And I'm not going to joke about it. I've had some beers people call sweet, and I really enjoy it. But this one, intense. And it's like the multi bready aftertaste, or like, whatever. It's not really that interesting. Yeah, I'd like to ask Tired Hands to do this over again, run it back, whatever the case is. But yeah, you go try it. I'm done with it. I need to find something to make out of it, or put it in like my press and drop a different coffee on it. Shit, I might even cut it with milk or some shit. I don't know. At the end of the day, like me personally, I hate to waste the beer. And even though this beer, I'm not going to say that it sucks, but at the end of the day, I'm not really particularly fond of it. So, but if you can find some way to try it and then we talk about it, do that. Because I've tried it. You go ahead and try it. And then, yeah, we'll talk about it, right? So at the end of the day, Black Beer Hunter, out of here. We can talk about another beer. I'm going to have to make up for this. I'll get you guys something different. And, yeah. Cheers, YouTube. I'm out.